He thought he was in control. How wrong he was.
Come to the dark side, driving. It's the dark side, driving. Come to the dark side, driving. It's the dark side, driving movie club.
From the deepest corner of the darkest universe, two brave hosts battle through nameless hordes of ghoulish monsters most foul, all to bring you the eternal glory of the Dark Side Drive-In.
It's the dark side, driving. It's the dark side, driving. Come to the dark side, driving. It's the dark side, driving movie club. It's the dark side, driving. Come to the dark side, driving. It's the dark side, driving. It's the dark side, driving movie club. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a fall approaching, autumnal encroaching, warm summer evening reproaching episode of the Dark Side Drive-In Intermission. Joined as always, we have your hosts with an alarming plethora of ghosts. Stefan! Thanks, Dave. I feel like you just kind of decide how many ghosts I have at the moment, but I guess we get what we pay for. Yes, your bones sustain me! And your other host... Wait! That's not Shane! That's Mal!
Hey.
Excellent reaction to my surprise. But I will be honest, I thought that this podcast was part of the manosphere. How are we supposed to be Sigma males if we have a woman here getting in the way of our testosterone?
Ligma? What?
Dave, you don't even have testosterone. You're just bones. That's true. I have no glands or skin even. None of the bits you need to make bodily functions. It's kind of crazy I'm talking. Well, maybe we need to cut down your screen time if you're going to be watching a bunch of Manosphere podcasts. We can't have you getting red-pilled on us. That's true, especially since I can't even digest pills because I don't have a digestive system. It would just drop down into the floor through my skeletal system, which is the only system I have. Well, Mal, I think that you and Dave have a little bit of history, right? You know each other from way back?
Well, this is certainly not the dark side Dave that I remember. But yeah, we know each other from many millennia ago.
Yes, I might have even still had some of my skin back then.
Just a little bit.
You see, back in those days, it was a crazy time of internal turmoil in our world because they started to integrate magical schools. Some people were against it. Not me.
So I want you to very clearly tell us here, Darkside Dave, what stance are you taking on this?
I am 100% cool with it and always was, and definitely didn't do on-campus protests back in the day. You can't prove it. I don't look the same. I'm old bones now. Oh,
well,
no.
Your flesh was barely hanging on then, if we're being honest.
I think we're just about to find out that Dave is against school integration. So, just so you know, Dave, in our world, school integration was a very important thing that happened that prevented, like, segregation based on race. Whoa! Chill out, man. In a world with fantasy creatures, it wasn't like that, bro. But, I was an arcane magic user studying to become a necromancer, and then suddenly you have divine and occult and primal spellcasters gumming up my works? The divine ones judging me for my necromancy? Just because their god disagreed with it? You had Mal over here doing a spell to make rain happen or whatever weather spells you do in the primal world?
Hey, I just want to say, you weren't mad about me making it rain when I was making it rain dancing lights all over your cocaine.
That is true. Yeah. That's actually why we had to stop talking. I had to go to magical rehab to kick the arcane cocaine habit. It was a dark time in my skeletal existence.
It was a fun time, though, right?
Well, it is definitely going to be a very interesting period in my autobiographical film once I get it greenlit.
Who plays me?
We'll find out. I feel like casting decisions will be handled by the studio. Well, Darkside Dave, we're going to let you get back to working on your screenplay, I guess. That's a new element of your life as you're writing a movie. Well, thank you. I'll see you at the end of the show, like always. Goodbye. He doesn't know it, but the keyboard that I sat in front of him isn't even plugged in anything, so he's just typing in. You know, like when you're like a kid and you're hanging out with one of your younger cousins or something who wants to play video games with you, but you don't want them to mess up your game, so you give them a controller that's not plugged in and they think they're in it, they're participating.
Yeah.
That's what Dave's doing right now in the living room. So
I actually feel bad now because I was the younger cousin,
no.
sibling who got the fake remote.
Hey, at least
and you're the older sibling who bullies the younger siblings.
I never bullied any of my siblings. I just didn't want them to interrupt my video gaming.
Fantastic.
It was all benign. Everyone had a good time. We look fondly upon those Sega Genesis and PlayStation 1 days. All right. Anyways, we're not here to accuse me of bullying my younger sisters. That's insane. We are here to do a Dark Side Drive-In intermission. Ordinarily, the Dark Side Drive-In is a podcast where we talk about movies from the 80s, sometimes 70s, and sometimes 90s, but, mostly 80s. But the intermission episodes are the ones where we can just do what we want, man. Like, you're not the boss of us.
Yeah. Let us flow. Let us vibe.
Yeah, let us feel the vibrations.
Yeah.
But that said, we do have a schedule we have to keep here. So let me move on to the first segment. This is really jarring for me because usually Shane is the one doing this. So now I have to be the one trying to keep us on track. And that is dangerous to have me try to do that. So our first segment in the Dark Side Drive-In intermission, pause for weather, is house creeping. So first piece of house creeping, I guess, is Mal's here. Surprise. And Shane is not. Also surprise. Sorry, I just stepped on you saying hi to the listeners like that.
It's all right. I said hi in the last episode. They get it.
It's your high. You have like a quota of highs and you're only going to say so many of them. So you hear that, listeners? Enjoy them when you got them.
There's no way I have a quota of highs because I would be out of them.
Cool. Excellent. Mal is going to be joining us for the foreseeable future, I would say, for a number of reasons. Number one is Shane is taking a leave of absence. There's discussions about having him returning for a bit here in the near future, but it just depends on his schedule. Mal, of course, is here because number one, she can do her best to keep me on track. And then also she has skills, which I do not, like the ability to edit. And it turns out when you have a podcast, it's huge. So
that is, yeah, that's a pretty big piece of it. I mean, you could just put the raw files out there, but
just let it run like on the, like totally like not even do any of that like magical technology stuff you do that like smooths it out. Like, no, I'm just gonna like put the MP3 out as I export it, just right as it is.
Not even that. You just make one cassette tape recording and then just throw it somewhere in public and see how far it gets. That's how you become folklore. And that's my life goal.
I mean, if you want to move into the analog space where you're just recording on a old Walkman or something, I don't know. How can you even come by those anymore? Like, where would you even find a Walkman now?
I'm sure if we went to some of the more rural counties and went to like a Salvation Army, we would certainly find several.
Whenever I used to, back in the late 10s, early 20s, mostly late 10s, I used to go to this like
the 10s.
Yeah, this underground metal festival in a forest in Maryland with a friend of mine, and a lot of the band. Okay, don't laugh at that part because we're not there yet. The crazy thing was, a lot of those bands had like limited edition cassettes of their music, and I'm like, are cassette tapes making a comeback? They didn't. So I think it just was that metal community just appreciated the idea of having tape versions of their music.
That's fine. And that's a great aesthetic. I love that. I do want to say, though, that my last car, the one I am currently driving, it was made in the 2000s, had a cassette tape. So I had a cassette player in my car up until 2019.
That is
so
amazing.
Maybe they're just thinking about people like me. Oh, I had the little tape that went in with the wire that came out that plugged into my phone. I don't even think this version of my phone has one of those plugins, those adapters.
The old aux cable cord thing.
Yes.
They don't have those anymore now. You have to get an adapter to go into the USB-C port. USB-C, USB. Did I say it wrong? USB-C.
USB-C.
USB-C port. And then even then, they don't sound quite right. Like you just got to get a Bluetooth now. Just get with the times, everybody. One time I borrowed my when my 1999 Pontiac Sunfire was out of commission. I borrowed my grandpa's green van that had an 8-track player in it. Can you imagine that?
Hell yeah!
I was driving around my small town back home, blasting some West Side Story. Now you never feel prettier than listening to an 8-track in your grandpa's van, going to Burger King for some chicken fries.
Chicken fries were so popular when we were in high school.
I know, yeah. They're still out there, but I feel like they've lost their magic. There's too many fried chicken options out there. They don't have the appeal.
My nieces still eat them.
At least some people are out there keeping the dream alive. Mostly children, it seems, based on the 100% of the sample size that I know of being your nieces.
Oh, that's amazing.
All right, I really got to get back to the house creeping me. All right, okay, Shane is not here.
Yes.
Yeah, he's otherwise engaged. He will.
He's okay. We should.
Oh
say
yeah,
that.
I guess I shouldn't. Yeah, I'm making it sound like
he's not been maimed or in any kind of tragic accident.
Yeah, he's in an iron lung. No, he's fine. He just has things in life. Life happens, and he needs to deal with things. So, yeah, I feel like the longer I go on about it, it's going to seem like it's dire. So
it seems like we're trying to cover something up. Everything's fine. Shane is great. It's just life, and he doesn't have time to do this at the moment, but he'll be back.
Which brings me to our next piece of house creeping, which is we are not doing Cue the Winged Serpent next anymore.
Get out of here.
So, okay, chill out. All right. You be like that, you're going to get yourself captured by an Aztec priest and have your heart ripped out. So chill.
A girl can dream.
So Mal didn't vibe with Cue the Winged Serpent quite the same way that Shane and I did. So we said, well, then let's just wait till Shane comes back and do it then. So it's going to be pushed down the docket somewhere in the next couple of months. I'm sure we'll get to it. But it didn't seem right to, especially since Shane did really like it and Mal's a little cooler on it. It didn't feel right to do it without him. So we're going to scrap that. And instead, we're going to do House from 1985. Not to be mistaken from the Japanese film from, I think, 1977, which is called Hausu, which is a great movie, but it is not the one we are doing. We're not doing the Japanese film Hausu. We're doing the Steve Miner directed 1985 one with the guy from, what was the name of that show? Greatest American Hero or whatever, who plays the lead role, William Catt. He, you know who he is, right? Like he has.
I
Yeah,
was just watching the trailer for this too, and I did not recognize him at all.
he's going to be the main star in this one. For those who haven't seen House, which get with the program, it's so good. Basically, it's about this dude whose son mysteriously disappears at his aunt's house, and it puts strain on his marriage. Him and his wife get separated. He's a famous author. He wants to take some time to go to his aunt's house, who just is recently deceased, in order to write a memoir about his experiences in the Vietnam War. So dealing with war trauma, dealing with the trauma of losing a son, dealing with the trauma of a recently deceased family member. Ooh, Mal just stopped on a screenshot from the movie of the aunt hanging herself, which is the spoiler alert. That happens. It happens early though, so don't worry. It's not a huge spoiler.
Well, that's like the whole premise is it's his aunt's haunted house.
That's
Why
yes,
is he
that's
moving
true.
in there?
Yeah, well, because he was also raised there. But yeah, we don't want to get too into that movie right now. Suffice to say, you can find it streaming on a lot of platforms. It's definitely on Tubi, as always. I believe it's on Roku channel, Plex, the Shout Factory channel, if you have that on Amazon Prime, I think, has it. But there's really no reason to get the Shout Factory channel if you just have it on Tubi for free. I never really understood the idea of charging for it. Also, fun fact, the Horror Realm Con that comes to Pittsburgh every February to March every year, William Catt is 100% going to be a guest at that.
That's amazing.
I know. So if you don't think I'm going to go there and see if he has a picture that he can sign from the movie House, you got another thing coming, because I'm 100% doing that.
I would never have thought otherwise.
So, yes. So, yeah, swapping out Q for House. Kind of a crazy thing to say, because I think the most famous Q is probably the guy who helps James Bond in the James Bond movies, and the most famous House is Hugh Laurie as that rude doctor.
Oh yes, I love him.
Yeah, he does good medical stuff, and then everyone's like, "Wow, what an asshole! I can't believe he's so good at doctoring." It's like, you can't. He solves every single week.
Asshole.
Well, every week he solves a medical mystery. What do you mean? Everyone's like, I doubt House is right this time. It's like, why? He's right every time.
That's why they gave him the TV show.
That's why he has it.
It's a reality show.
That's true. So, was that the last? Oh, I guess the last bit of housekeeping I was going to say is, Shane has already tasked me. I don't think I told you this yet, so I have a surprise. Here's a surprise announcement for you, even.
Oh, great.
He wants
That's
to try
what I love, surprises.
Surprise. So I wanted to cancel the Sal and Stevenson Devilish Duology, because our format has changed, and Shane was going to be gone, and editing takes a long time and all these things. But Shane insists that he wants to try to come back for it, has tasked me with picking the movies for it. And if we can split the editing duties between you and him, he's convinced that we can get it done. So, audience, stay tuned and find out if the Samhain Season Devilish Duology does happen this year.
I feel optimistic.
I know, you both seem very optimistic about it. I'm the one who's like, I don't think so, even though I'm the one who doesn't do any editing at all. I just sit there for moral support while you guys edit. But
I did make you start doing that. That's great.
It's fine. It's not like I have anything going on the weekends. But yes, so we'll see. I guess I picked a couple of options for movies. We'll see how, number one, you two feel about them, and number two, if there is world enough in time, as a poet would say. What is that? It's from To His Coy Mistress, I think, is the poem. Were there world enough in time? All right. Anyways,
I can help you out here,
so
Stefan.
That concludes our house creeping. All right.
Hey,
Let's move into the bit and skip whatever else there is. Right? There's nothing else that we have to worry about, is there?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh no! It's time for the terrible 20. I don't know what that accent was I was doing. Let's hope I don't get canceled for that. I don't know what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, that was a choice.
It was not
okay.
really a choice. It just manifested. I didn't. No sane person would choose that.
That's a great PR move. I love that.
All right. All right. Anyways, as we know, as our audience knows, and we know because we do this, the Terrible 20 is our 20 questions like, so we don't get sued by the creators of 20 questions, where you, or usually it's Shane, now it's you, will try to stump me by having me do 20 questions to figure out what a movie is. It's real high level stuff, guys.
What is a movie?
Yeah, what is a movie anyway? Also, what's the deal with airline food? Seinfeld, get it?
Yeah, no, I got it. I didn't laugh when he said it the first time.
Ugh. Off to a great start, guys. All right.
So before we begin,
Okay.
and I know I have a very important question I have to ask you, but before that, I just want to bring the bar down.
Let's go ahead and level set expectations right now.
Let's just bring them down. I know that it's like the ongoing thing that you get immensely frustrated with Shane during this game. I think you also got your hopes up that I was going to come in here and be very not vague and have all the right answers, and this was going to make your life a whole lot easier. I don't know that that's going to happen. Because my brain works differently. And I actually agree with Shane about naturally occurring werewolves.
Oh, jeepers.
So,
if a creature has to be killed by a specific weapon because of some magical, like, allergy, that isn't natural.
But they're made out of just natural biological material.
Whoa. No, okay, we're not doing this. We're not gonna relitigate whether or not werewolves are naturally occurring again.
Okay, fair enough. I do have one more question, though, Stefan.
What was the other question?
There was no other question.
Oh, okay, cool.
I do have a question, though.
Cool.
Stefan?
Yep.
Are you ready?
Why, I'm the readiest I've ever been.
Are you? Because you start.
Yeah, you're supposed to say insert dramatic music.
Oh, shit. Insert dramatic music.
Yay! All right, let's start off. As always, I got to take my own notes so I can keep track of my questions. Let's start out with the classic. Is it pre 9/11?
Yes.
All right. Is it from the 80s?
No.
Is it from the 90s?
Yes.
Is it part of a franchise?
No.
Point of clarification on franchise. Would that have included if it were a prequel, sequel, or legacy remake or something like that? Or would those need to be separate questions?
I'll allow them all being grouped together. Okay. So yes, I'll allow it. We'll clump everything in there together. It is not a franchise, a sequel, a legacy, anything like that.
Okay. Or is remake included in that?
Yeah, it is not a remake.
Oh, jeepers. Sorry, the built-in keyboard on my laptop is one of the worst things ever made. And the notes I'm making right now are hideous. Is it an adaptation of a book or something similar to that, like an adaptation of another thing?
It is not.
All right, we're good. We're fine. Let's figure out let's see if we can narrow down if it's an enemy, what the enemy is. Is the threat like a ghost?
No.
No ghost. How about a demon?
No.
How about like a creature of some sort? It is a creature of some sort?
Yes.
Okay, creature of some sort.
Oh no, I fear this is where we may have hit our first divergent path as far as brains go. I'm gonna say yes to a creature. I don't know if you would qualify this as a creature.
Cool. If I would qualify it as a creature, that does tell me that there is one thing, though. So I guess that's helpful. There's not one. That's not a question. That's just me speculating.
That was me giving you a good first hint.
That was a good hint?
Yeah.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Let's try to figure out some more genre stuff.
Okay.
Is it a found footage movie?
No.
Is the thing or whatever it is supernatural in any way?
No.
All right, so let's recap for the audience where we're at. Is it pre 9/11? Yes. Is it from the 80s? No. Is it from the 90s? Yes. Is it part of a franchise? No. Is it a prequel, sequel, or remake? No. Is it an adaptation of something else? No. Is it a ghost? No. Demon? No. Creature of some sort? Yes. Found footage? No. Supernatural? No. So it is a natural creature.
Oh no, this is a terrible path for us to be going down.
Why did I draw an incorrect conclusion from something?
No, I think this is going to be like a splitting hairs thing. It's going to be a tomato situation where you're going to be like, you think that's that?
Is the thing or things, are they aquatic at all?
No.
Are the thing or things that we're dealing with in any way genetically altered or scientifically experimented on?
Oh boy, you might need to split that.
Are they scientifically experimented on?
No.
Are they genetically altered?
Yeah. Saying that with about as much confidence as I have. Yeah. Oh, you're going to be so bad at me at the end of this. I already know.
I feel like I am, yeah. Because I have no idea. Like, how can it, if it wasn't scientifically experimented on, how could it be genetically altered? I don't know, maybe the biome will help? If it's a creature or creatures? So we established they weren't aquatic. Do they live in like a desert environment?
No.
I really don't know. I think I'm kind of almost at my wall with this.
Hold on. I think I probably threw you off with the creature piece. I think we're probably living in two different brain spaces. I think when you hear that it's a creature, you're thinking very specific creatures, and this is something that is like its own specific horror thing.
The hell does that mean? Its own specific horror thing.
Oh no! This is what I was afraid of.
So it's not a creature, it's not a creature, it's a thing? That's so confusing. So it isn't a creature of some sort. Or are you doing that thing like, oh, well, so humans are also animals, therefore it is a creature?
Yes, kind of, almost. It's somewhere in there. Oh no. Maybe just ask a brand new line of questioning.
What other lines are there? The only thing I've defined is sort of when it might be. So is the villain human then? And I don't mean villain like actually humans are the villains in all things, for they are the ones who have wrought this upon us. Like you watch Godzilla and it's actually humans are the monsters because we created them or something.
I understand. Yeah, they're human.
They are human. So there's more than one.
Do you have questions about cast, crew, anything like that?
I don't know. Is it a known horror director?
Not a known horror director.
Is the director American?
No, the director is not American. I also gave you a hint on the first question you had about the director. You asked, is he a well-known horror director? And then said he's not a well-known horror director.
All right, we're at 19, so I have 2 more questions, and then I have to do... is it 20 questions and a guess, or is it... 19 questions in a guess. I've never quite understood that.
20 full questions, and then you can take a guess.
Is the director Guillermo del Toro?
No.
Okay, then I don't know who it is. So, probably done.
Do you want a hint?
Sure.
I feel like this is maybe less of a hint, but just more of a clarification. It's... I think you're going to be so mad at me for saying initially that it was a creature. I don't believe it's a creature. It's like a thing. There's a bunch of them. They've been some type of genetically modified, but not through scientists. They're human. There's a horde of them.
Are they zombies?
Yes. You're going to be so mad. Oh no. I can see how mad you are. You're so disappointed. I'm so sorry. You know, I really did want to bring the expectations low. I did open with that.
I have to guess now, so if you'll excuse me while I think. Is it... I can't remember. It had two different names. Is it... I'm going to guess, the movie I'm going to guess is Dead Alive or Brain Dead, the Peter Jackson zombie movie.
Congratulations, Stefan.
Are you kidding me? Is that actually it?
That's actually it. I
no
don't
way.
know where the hell you just pulled that from. As soon as you said, I think it has two names, I was like, what the hell? You got it. Good job. Okay, talk to me, yell at me. I can only get better if you tell me what I did wrong.
You were right about it was creatures of some sort. I should have zeroed in on the kind of creature it was instead. I think that the genetically altered thing, are they though? Like, no, they get like an illness from like a monkey, don't they? Or something like that.
Sumerian rat monkey.
Yeah, Sumerian rat monkey. So it's not genetically altered. It's an illness, but that's kind of, I guess it's splitting hairs. But for the audience, by the way, we'll go through my questions again. You can see the journey I had to take here. Was it pre 9/11? Yes. Was it from the 80s? No. Is it from the 90s? Yes. Is it a franchise? No. Is it a prequel, sequel, remake? No. Is it an adaptation? No. Ghost? No. Demon? No. Creature of some sort? Yes.
And I did say it with almost no confidence.
Yeah, you did do the I'm
from the
Ron
jump.
Burgundy.
I was like,
yeah, you did.
I knew I was going to mess it up. So,
is it supernatural? Sorry. No. Is it aquatic? No. In aquatic, I thought it might be a genetically altered shark from Deep Blue Sea. So I was all over the place. Scientifically experimented on? No. Genetically altered? Yes. That's the question I'm going to have to take issue with. Desert?
Sorry.
No. Human? Yes. Known horror director? No. Because you were giving me the hint that it is a well-known director. Is the director American? No. That should have been a good hint for me. But I was focused on Guillermo del Toro, which is my 19th question, because I was thinking of Kronos, which is where people become vampiric from a relic. Okay. And then you said no, and then kind of gave me some hints that led me to ask if it was zombies. And then when you said it was zombies, there's only so many zombies movies during the 90s that weren't like remakes or legacy sequels or anything like that. So I went straight to the silliest one, which is Dead Alive or Brain Dead, depending on where you are.
I was also trying to move you in the direction of like, you want to ask anything about like the genre, the cast, the crew, anything, because I really knew that I screwed up starting with the creatures question.
Well, you weren't wrong though, but it did put me down because like when I was asking about the biome and stuff, like the aquatic is going for Deep Blue Sea, for the desert I was going for Tremors. So I was like going a different direction for what you meant by creature. I should have clarified if it was zombies. I usually ask zombies directly, which I didn't that time because I thought it was a different kind of creature. So, yeah.
I'm really proud of you.
Zigged, so what for getting it at the end?
Yes, you just went from Del Toro to is this Dead Alive? It's just out of nowhere. Great job.
It wasn't out of nowhere because then I asked if it was zombies. That was my 20th
Yeah.
question, so then I had my guess. and-
Yeah, but that feels more like I just had to clarify.
Either way, the important thing is we
You
got
got
there. All right.
Wow, I can't believe you guys are still doing this bit with how much you actually hate doing it.
Yeah, it's no secret that I really do not like it, but I have to do it. It's because
Well-
the audience loves it, because the audience, I think, just hates me and want me to suffer. Like one day I'm going to like fall and break my leg and the audience will be like, hell yeah, suffer, you fool.
I don't think that's how it works, but okay. I just think it was fun to play along when I was a listener.
That's probably what people actually do like about it.
Yeah.
Then they get it faster than me and they feel superior.
Yes, I
Um,
absolutely did. I used to scream at my phone listening to the podcast.
And now you have to be in the driver's seat. How do you like it now? No
Fine
more
for me.
No more Schadenfreude for you. Well, yeah, I guess. No, you seem like you were a little stressed out that I was going the wrong way and getting testy, which I was, because I do. Because this game just upsets me.
It's wild. And you have to do it. That's crazy. Anyways, since you hate that bit so much, why don't we just move into the next thing? Are you ready?
Yes, a segment that I might enjoy more.
I can only hope so. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's do that.
I
Good.
don't know what that was.
Good thing. Yeah, good thing we're going to talk about it. That'd be crazy if we prepared this entire segment and then just didn't do it.
You guys don't want to hear about it. Let's just get Darkside Dave back in here. Wrap it up. Anyways, we're talking about 2 new movies today. Movies that came out this year. We have our first movie, which is The Monkey. And paired with The Monkey is Final Destination Bloodlines. And you might be thinking to yourself, as a listener, what do The Monkey and Final Destination Bloodlines have to do with each other? Well, just about everything. And you may think, oh my God, Mallory is talking a lot and taking a really long time to get to the point. What's the bit? And what you're about to find out.
And she's not done yet.
The theme of everything we are going to be discussing is Rube Goldbored, not with these kills.
Perfect. No notes. You can barely tell that we already tried to do this segment one other time and it got messed up. You can't even tell. Like a glove, as Ace Ventura would say in Ace Ventura when nature calls.
Somebody is going to appreciate that I set it up like that. Because that's the point.
You did all the hard work, which is setting up all the dominoes. Now you have to do the easy part, which is knocking them down. So,
Yeah.
Good one. You invented this bit name, which is better than mine. So if the audience wants to know what my bit name was, it was a song parody, as they always are. And it was, these deaths are bananas, DEATHES, which there's not an E in deaths, but I needed to keep the same rhythm. So Mal didn't want us to continue to spread misinformation and anti-intellectualism into the world. So she said we should cut that name out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, Gwen Stefani's MAGA now, I think. So.
Yuck.
Ugh.
Well, I hope whoever that was she was fighting won the next round, to reference the actual song. That's a Holla Back Girl, right? Is it all about her fighting some lady? Oh, she wrecked her. Mowed her down.
Where are we? How did we get here?
No one, you know what? No one ever can figure that out. That's one of the great mysteries of this world. But yeah, you're right, though. We are talking about 2 of 2025's movies that contain overly complex, some might say, death scenes.
Yes.
So let's kick things off with The Monkey, shall we?
Absolutely.
Oh, little monkey, I can break your bones, but I cannot break your spirit.
What?
That's from the Dial M for Monkey. The show, the short show that was part of Dexter's Laboratory back in the late
Oh
90s.
my God.
Yeah. There's like one where Dial M for Monkey has to fight like a Macho Man Randy Savage type like wrestler guy, and he like beats the crap out of him, but the monkey refuses to give up, and he's like, "Oh, little monkey, I can break your bones, but I cannot break your spirit."
Oh my
You remember
God.
that?
I would never have remembered it, but as soon as you said it, it was like, it just all snapped right into my brain. That's crazy.
Exactly. That's how memories do be wildin', as they say. But yes. So the monkey, it is directed and written by Osgood Perkins. Best known probably for Longlegs, the movie that took the world by storm. Like what, last year was it?
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't that chill with Longlegs. It didn't really resonate with me that well. I can respect what it was doing. It wasn't really for me, but it was pretty good. He also did like Gretel and Hansel, I think. And he has another one coming up soon, doesn't he? I feel like he already announced his like next big horror project. Thank God I didn't like kill our like progress by saying that and not knowing the name of the movie.
Well, I'm ready to move on to what I think is his most important piece of work.
When he played young Norman Bates in Psycho 2.
No, absolutely not.
Oh.
No, it was his supporting character in Legally Blonde, where he played the big silly nerd.
Who did he play?
The big silly nerd.
Yeah,
He got bullied by girls, and then Elle Woods, which is Reese Witherspoon's character in Legally Blonde, sets up this whole ruse to make him look desirable in front of the girls that were bullying him.
And then she goes back from the big city to her small town in Alabama, and one of her friends has a baby in a bar?
In a bar.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
The upcoming movie is called Keeper, by the way. That was one I couldn't think of.
I've not heard anything about Keeper. But that's not what we're here to talk about.
It's not. So back to Osgood Perkins. I mean, obviously written based off of a Stephen King short story also called The Monkey, which was I actually mistakenly thought it was from Night Shift, but it's actually from Skeleton Crew. So what a mistake I made. In my defense, both Night Shift and Skeleton Crew rule. I think there's almost no stories in any of those that aren't great. Have you read that?
It's a great way to deflect.
Yeah.
You're really on your PR game today.
I know. We have to be very careful. We don't want to get canceled like Jimmy Kimmel just did.
Oh, no.
So that's hot off the presses. That just happened before we got on here.
I know. He had to tell me about it. I didn't even know. God.
So anyways, The Monkey. Music by Edo Van Bremen. Special effects coordinator is Greg Pine, who had the same role in Longlegs, so he seems to have a pretty good working relationship with Osgood Perkins. They continue to work together. As far as the actors go, we have Hal and Bill, as played by Theo James.
Hot.
Exactly. Everyone might know him as the love interest of Shailene Woodley in the Divergent series, where his name was 4. Even though he's a 10, am I right, ladies? Get it? Because his name is the number 4, which I think he explains it in the movie, but I couldn't be bothered to remember why that was the case.
I've never seen any of the Divergent movies.
He was also in the television series version of The Time Traveler's Wife with, was it Rose Leslie, I think? I always thought that was kind of a creepy story, so I never watched it, but I have to imagine it's probably better than the Eric Bana, Rachel McAdams version, which was the film.
Yeah. I'm currently watching that on TikTok in 15-second segments out of order, which that's an insane movie to watch out of order if you think about it.
The Time Traveler's Wife?
Yes.
I mean, if it goes in his point of view where he's traveling through time, then yeah, I'm sure that it would be pretty crazy.
No, I just have no idea what's happening, but I am watching it when it pops up on my For You page.
Yeah, I mean, I guess same thing happens to me when I'm Rachel McAdams talk and I get 15-second segments of The Vow with Channing Tatum. It's like, obviously going to stick around, see how deep their love is. Can it defeat her amnesia or not?
Is that a real movie?
Yeah, it's based off a Nicholas Sparks novel.
I had no idea. I thought you were making a joke.
I mean, let's be real, that movie is kind of a joke, but...
Anyways, back to the cast.
It's actually not based off of a Nicholas Sparks novel. That was a mistake. I had to bring it up now so that I don't get like called out later for like not knowing that. It does seem like it would be, though. That just seems like a Nicholas Sparks like story.
The Notebook is Nicholas Sparks, right?
is.
Rachel McAdams also stars in that. I don't know.
Yeah, Nicholas Sparks definitely has some movies based off his work. I think that there's the one with Zac Efron where he's like a soldier who comes back from the war to find like one of his fellow soldiers like ex-wives and then falls in love with her or something.
Okay.
It's a Zac Efron movie. Look. All right.
Didn't Miley and Liam do one?
Yes. That one I don't know the name of either. They all have like really like kind of saccharine but also vague names. The Lucky One is the one I was thinking of with Zac Efron. All right.
I'll tell you who wasn't the lucky one.
But most people in this movie, because a lot of them die.
Are you talking about the monkey?
Yeah, the monkey.
Okay, we're going back to that. There we go. We're back.
Oh, did you have a different segue for the Lucky One?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so you just expected me to figure out this segue? Wait, lucky you, I did. Let's get off of haughty Theo James and on to Lois, as played by Tatiana Maslany, known for She-Hulk.
I would also get on her.
Heyo. What are you, Daredevil? Because the show's She-Hulk, where she hooks up with Daredevil. Spoiler alert for She-Hulk. A lot of neckbeards online did not like She-Hulk, but I liked it. I thought it was funny.
Oh my god, did Dark Side Dave watch it?
As much as he can watch anything without having eyes. But he was there.
I just think with his red pill thing, I thought he'd probably just hate.
Oh, that was before the red pill. The red pill thing is very recent. He goes through. Yeah, despite being like millennia old, he experiences things rapidly because they don't have the internet in the fantasy world that he hails from. We have young Hal and young Bill, as played by Christian Covenry, who, was in Cocaine Bear, which is a great movie. So if you want to see him, I knew I recognized him from something. It's from Cocaine Bear. And something that I will mention, I honestly think that the younger version of Hal and Bill, that kid actor does a better job of differentiating them than Theo James does.
Theo James does. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, that kid is doing the heavy lifting on the difference between these two characters.
When you get near the end of the movie, and without, spoiling anything for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, they have a lot of interaction in the same scenes together, and it's like, you just put a cape on, or not even a cape, whatever it is. You're just doing the same thing, but with a fancy suit on.
Yeah, it's literally, it's not very different. Like, the one's like a little meaner. I feel like the kid version is like, he plays like the mean brother so mean. I was like, dang, this kid hates his brother.
Yes. Yeah, and then the adult version of the mean brother is just like the equivalent of the villain putting on like a fake mustache.
Yes. He's like, hey, we both grew up hot, so I guess I don't have to get that upset about it. The next up in the cast is Petey, as played by Colin O'Brien. That's Hal's son. He played young Wonka in the Wonka film. I'm pretty sure that by that I mean the Wonka film is the one with Timothée Chalamet.
Great job.
Timothée Chalamet. Chalamet. We have Captain Petey Shelbourne in a brief role as Adam Scott. Don't need to bring much up about him. We know who Adam Scott is. We've seen Parks and Rec. Ted in a scene-stealing role. We have Elijah Wood. He's only in like one scene, but man, he works on that thing.
I will remember we went to see this movie together, and at one point when you're being introduced to adult Hal, he's like working at this grocery store and he's looking at something, and I'm looking at the back cover of what he's holding, and I remember being like, is that Elijah Wood? What a weird choice. And then it cuts to Elijah Wood in the movie, and I was like, oh, okay.
He's
I
like some kind of
gotcha.
like self-help or like advice guru
Yes.
who's like
Yeah, he's
leaning
like the
into like
Tony
I'm in my
Robbins.
he's leaning into his fatherhood era, even though he's like the soon to be adoptive father of Hal's son. And it's just so funny how whenever he like grabs like Hal's hands at one point, he's like, I just took your power from you. He's like, no, you didn't. It's like, sorry, I did. It's like, well, I want it back. It's like, you can't have it back. I have it now. It's like, what a weird scene.
Love it.
Just zoom in through the rest of the cast here. We have Thrasher / Ricky is played by Rowan Campbell. Aunt Ida is played by Sarah Levy. Probably best known for a role in Schitt's Creek and also being related to Eugene and Dan Levy. Osgood Perkins, the director, he plays Uncle Chip briefly until he gets chunkified by a herd of like wild horses or something.
Stefan, we'll get there.
Oh, never mind. He doesn't get chunkified. We have Barbara is played by Tess Dagenstein, who's like Barbara is the local realtor that Hal has to deal with. And then Babysitter Annie, who's constantly referred to as Babysitter Annie, which I thought was very funny. That's played by Danica Dreyer, whose full name is Annie Wilkes, the name of Kathy Bates' character in Misery. And also, I guess, the same character in the book Misery, if you're a reader, like some kind of frickin' nerd.
Gross. I'm sick.
It's like all these brainy nerds always reading books. I've fallen so behind on my reading this year, by the way.
It took me 5 months to finish my last book because it was awful. Let's not talk about it. I feel bad. I don't want to throw them under the bus.
All right, audience, go to our Facebook group if you want to find out what book Mal had so much trouble with. See if you can get her to reveal it on social media. All right, but the monkey plot. Let's just do a high-level, spoiler-free kind of plot thing. So, essentially, what we have is these boys whose father is trying to get rid of this monkey that he says every time you wind it up, it plays its little monkey drum, and at the end of the song, someone dies in a really convoluted and gruesome way. He tries to get rid of it at a toy shop, doesn't work, kills the toy store owner. Dad tries to torch it. The boys find it later. It has some kind of supernatural ability to avoid being destroyed. So the boys find it in their childhood. So essentially, they learn painfully the power of the monkey and that it's somehow drawn to and remains with their family. Fun fact for people, by the way, who read the book, it's a cymbal monkey in the book, but it is a drum monkey in this. In the movie, and that is because, ironically, the director of one of the Toy Stories loved the story so much that he put a toy cymbal monkey into one of the Toy Stories, but that means Disney owns Cymbal Monkey, so they couldn't use it for the movie.
Nobody else can use them.
Yeah, way to go. Like when you work for a giant corporation, they own everything. So they stole it. But I actually think the drum monkey works better for this movie. I think that like just the like every drum beat, like bring its hands down, like with the drumsticks really resonates with like the finality of the death that's about to come. I feel like a cymbal would be too jarring.
Wow. That was a great explanation. I was going to say, I really enjoyed that they switched it to a drum because when we went to see it, we sat in the D-box seats. And boy, did I just have a great time every time the monkey drummed.
Because it would just rock the seats.
Yes. I was having a blast. I spent the whole first monkey episode just giggling.
Monkey
giggling
event.
Yeah,
whatever you want to call it. The first time the monkey hit his cadences. It's like, oh, this is fun. Yeah, for those who don't know, D-box seats are like the seats you can pay extra for at a theater where it like moves or rocks and tilts like based off what's going on in the movie. It can be really fun. It can also be really disorienting depending on the movie.
And it was disorienting for the monkey.
It was really, I told you about when we went to see it, Wolfman, and it was, there's like panning shots of like wide vistas and the seat would like slowly turn and move. I'm like, no, I'm going to fall into that mountain range. So it works. If you're interested in paying a little extra to see a movie at the theaters, because who doesn't want to do that? D-box it up.
D-box it up. It really is worth it, though. Have fun. Live your life. Enjoy.
But back to the plot of the monkey. Basically, the kids, after some tragedy hits and they have to move away, they eventually decide to put the monkey somewhere where it'll never hurt anyone again. But then suddenly in adulthood, when Hal's an absentee father who, is about ready to give up his son to be adopted by his ex's new boyfriend, Elijah Wood, suddenly crazy, mysterious deaths start to happen again. And his estranged brother, what's the names again? Hal, and Hal's brother is Bill. So Bill contacts Hal again and is like, hey, guess what? The monkey that likes to kill our families back. We got to deal with this. And then suddenly we just get kill after kill after kill of crazy events. Now, if we laugh about this, it's not because we don't believe in the sanctity of human life. I mean, I do, but still. The reason is this is more of a horror comedy, like kind of a splatter comedy. So it's more silly. Most of the deaths are played for laughs. I think my favorite one, or no, not my favorite one, but one of the funnier ones was whenever they're doing this montage of all the people in the Hal and Bill's old hometown of all the people dying. And one of them is she's at a golf course. She reaches into the hole to get her ball, and she gets bit in the face by a cobra. And he's like, are there cobras in Maine? And the realtor's like, well, the one. It's the town's attitude towards the rising body count of crazy deaths is very funny.
They really accept it because there is another point in the movie where there has been another overly complicated, insane, outrageous murder. And there's a group of people standing on the sidewalk cheering.
Literal
as if they're
cheerleaders.
at some type of show.
Literal cheerleaders standing outside the police cordon cheering when they roll the body out. It's insane. Clearly whatever's happening is gotten to this town, and they've become no longer fear death, but celebrate it in a weird way.
The monkey hive-minded them somehow.
Yes.
That's not in the movie.
That's just our interpretation of what's happening.
Yeah, I think it's implied.
But yeah, I think we probably want to go any more into spoilers than that, right? Do the monkey, do the drum. I will say that the monkey, at the end of the day, a lot of people online, if you're one of those constantly online people, they're complaining, number one, that it wasn't scary. I'm like, well, horror what
comedy. Scares
you is subjective. I mean, if I watch someone explode and their body parts are flying everywhere, I might be troubled. But there was a lot of people online who were like, the plot didn't make any sense. It's sort of. I mean, it makes as much sense as a supernatural toy monkey that kills people can.
Yeah. That's the beauty of the horror world and doing anything supernatural is it can just be whatever you want it to be.
Yes. So at the end of the day, the movie's just here's the plot in order to get these brothers together again to move the plot forward. So it kind of takes this moment of until you understand the brothers' ultimate goals, what they're looking for in their lives. And one of them has the most convoluted goal of all time. But it's a world with a monkey that plays a song and kills you. So who knows? Anything can happen. Or it doesn't kill you, actually. That's one of the contentions of the monkey. It will not kill the turner of the monkey key. The monkey, if you will. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Yeah, get it? His keys in the name. All right. But there you go. I don't want to get more into the plot than that. But is there anything you wanted to bring up? I kind of ran through it really fast there.
To be so honest, I actually felt like I had a good point, but I'm so upset about your monkey joke that I lost it.
Well, that you'll have that. Sometimes I make such a terrible pun that it deletes people's minds.
That's what happened. Okay, it's back. Yeah, without adding any spoilers or further story development, I do want to say I really enjoyed this movie. I feel like it was made really intentionally to have that very light, don't take this seriously, you don't have to think too much, sit down, enjoy the aesthetic. I do feel like Osgood Perkins is a very aesthetic director. But sit down, enjoy this very curated aesthetic, have fun, don't think too hard, laugh a little, enjoy exploding bodies.
Yeah, the fun thing is sometimes it will show you all of the pieces that have to come together to create this really complicated series of events that make a kill happen. Other times we just see the end of it and it's well, that something happened there. Like, I think with like that
True.
Cobra one, we never see what happened to bring a Cobra to Maine. Obviously something.
And the fact that we know that it's there and he's the one that we refer to, there's a backstory.
Yes. But like, for instance, I think one of the more complicated ones that they kind of show the entire thing for, other than, okay, so actually you want to talk about one other thing, because there's the first kill that Hal experiences directly, which kind of sets the tone for the rest of us that like, okay, this is just wild and crazy, is whenever he's at a swimming pool at a hotel and there's a girl about to jump into the pool, and this was in all the previews, so I'm not giving much away, but like essentially there's like a hose that's leaking, so there's water like that flows from the hotel to the pool, and one of the air conditioning units is like coming undone, and it falls off the building and it hits the water and then sends an electrical current into the pool, and the girl like dives off the diving board into the pool. And when I saw the ads, I was like, oh, is this gonna be like a realistic like electrocution death or something? No, she explodes like she had been exploded in like a video game. Like her body parts fly everywhere. Like the foot flies. Yeah, like her foot flies at Hal. He's like, "Is that a foot?" Like he says that.
It's so great. It's just so unexpected. Like you're thinking electrocution. Here we go. We know what we're gonna see. She just vaporizes. Well, like 93% of her vaporizes and turns into like the molecular level of blood, except just her one leg stays intact enough to like smack him in the face.
Yes. Well, she becomes like if you played video games during the arena shooter era of like the late 90s, early 2000s, like doing your Quakes and your Unreals, she got insta-gibbed because she got turned into giblets instantly. So that is the kind of movie you're dealing with if you're ready for that. And a lot of them are really well set up too. So I will say that there's usually some kind of setup. You just have to keep track of it.
Absolutely.
But I think we want to do one last little bit within a bit, Inception bit, right? Like we talked about a few of the deaths here, and a lot of them we didn't talk about. There's a lot of dead people in this movie.
So many.
But let's celebrate that by saying, what is each of our favorite kill in this one? So I'll be a gentleman and let you go first.
Okay.
Or put you on the spot, either way, whichever one you just determine to interpret my allowing you to go first to me.
No, I'm ready. It just as soon as you were like, oh, you get to go first, I was like, oh no, what if I take his? But it's not like that. So I can just relax a little bit. So my favorite kill, falling in theme with my bit of Rube Goldbored, not with these kills, is going to be that beautiful, overcomplicated, dramatic kill of Aunt Ida in the home, where we start with her opening a closet door, bunch of stuff falls out, and she gets her face just punctured with about 15 different fish hooks.
That's when she's going downstairs and she falls through the stairs into like a box.
Yeah. Yes, correct. So fish hooks in the face. That's not it though. She proceeds up, cleans her face. She's using rubbing alcohol to clean the wounds. Smart. And then she goes into the kitchen to make herself something comforting. Is it tea? Whatever. She's lighting the stove. Stove's not lighting. She leans down to smell, see if the gas is coming out. Stove lights, giant fireball in her face. She goes flying backwards. Her head is on fire. She's running around panicked. She runs outside. She steps on a vase of flowers, which have been left on the porch, even though it's like dark outside nighttime. And then she stumbles a little bit more. And then we get the final money shot where she falls into the real estate sign outside of her home and impales herself straight through the face.
Yeah, it's a journey.
She got face deathed.
She did. Well, yeah, several ways. Three different face events happened. Yeah, like
Yeah.
lighting the rubbing alcohol on fire so that she gets like her face just lit up and then runs outside
Yes.
and get her head impaled on and then she's still burning on the fence or on the like signpost. Like,
Yes. Fantastic. So you can see why it's my favorite kill of the movie.
I can see that. Mine's a little less complicated, but still it is hinted at earlier in the movie. So mine is there's a scene early on where I don't know if it's at the hotel or where it is, but Hal's son Petey is looking at a brochure talking about skydiving lessons, and then he's like at the back, he's like, "Look, they do weddings." And later in the movie, there's this scene where they essentially upset the monkey, and the monkey is going bananas as a monkey would, and
Oh no.
there's like a lot of stuff happening. And one of the things is all of a sudden in the building where they are, people start falling through it, and they are like a groom and a bride and a priest. And it's like clear that it was a wedding group that fell out of the plane and their suits didn't go off.
They have their parachutes
They have their
on.
parachutes on that never went off, or like went off too late and they got stuck like by the rafters and are hanging. I was like, what a funny callback to like a one-off line by this kid who's like, "Oh, look, they do weddings." And then later
So
on, the
great.
entire wedding like group fall through the building.
It's so fantastic.
But even I, who is a fan of bits within bits, think you have another one that we're going to do before we move on to the next movie, right?
Oh, absolutely. Because I can't come up with a bit without like going at it 100%. So, you know a little bit about the movie. Hopefully you've seen it. You know our favorite kills from the movie. I think it's time to give it a rating, but instead of doing a silly old 5-star whatever.
All right, chill out. It's a letter grade, but okay.
Well, hold on. I just meant like typically people are like, "Oh, that movie gets 5 out of 5 stars."
Sure.
Yes. Anyways, instead of doing that, we're going to rate these movies as Rube Goldbored. Boo.
Good work.
Or Rube Gold Scored. Woo, 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 woo.
Ding, 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 ding.
Pew, 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 pew. I don't know what that last one
Perfect
was.
puns. Yeah, perfect puns. I mean, the gold board one, I guess you recycled from your bit name, but the gold scored, you really went for the gusto on that one.
It was inspired by, it wasn't recycling, it was just inspiring. So yeah, we're gonna just sit here, go back and forth, and say whether we were Rube Gold bored with the movie or we think it was a Rube Gold scored. And I'm gonna go ahead and go first again since I'm the lady.
Sure.
And I'm gonna say this movie Rube Gold scored. I love this movie. I like a nice, short, easy horror comedy.
Oh, is that my prompt to go? Yes, I also,
yeah.
I also believe that it Rube Gold scored. Like, yeah, 3-point shot on me because I really enjoyed, just the cast was fun. The gore was over the top and silly. Like, yeah, there's like, one thing I do, even Long Legs, which I didn't enjoy as much. I really do like, Oz Perkins, like editing. He edits things in a very interesting way. Like he always has something to say. And this one, it has like some rapid cuts sometimes, or like random montages that are very funny, and they really help with like the pace of the movie, and they kind of get the tone across. I just think, yeah, it's just fun. Like if you're really squeamish and gore bothers you, you might not like it. It might not be for you. But if you can tolerate a little bit of insta-jibbing, yeah, go for it, I would say.
Yeah. I wouldn't say if you had to rank it on a scale of, I know what.
Oh, all right. Well done. Like, all right. Regular scale of what? What are you doing?
One side of the scale is like hostile.
Jeez. Yeah, no, it's not. Oh, not that kind of gore.
I marked that. Hold on.
No, you're keeping that. Whoa. 0 to 60, Mal. My God.
No, what I'm trying to do is create a spectrum, and I know one side of the spectrum is going to be
I know that
hostile,
someone here's on a spectrum.
and the other side of the spectrum is what I couldn't think of comparatively. And so I just gave up. But it's like on the opposite side of the spectrum of Hostel.
No, I'd say the opposite side of the spectrum of Hostel. Like, I don't know. What is the spectrum? I'd say the opposite side might be like, I don't know, The Great Mouse Detective, like an animated movie.
Oh my God.
So
I love that movie.
okay, yeah, I mean, it's a good movie. It's
But yeah, it's down closer to The Great Mouse Detective. Anyways, we should move on. That was
No, that was
time
great
for me in my life.
That was perfect. Yeah, next thing, I guess, is going to be, well, okay, I'm going to make you say the bit again. So the next movie in our segment that we call
Rube Goldbored, not with these kills. That was a weird delivery.
Perfect, like a glove. Next one is Final Destination, Bloodlines. Directed by Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein. Zach Lipovsky did some other movies like Leprechaun Origins, Dead Rising, Watchtower, Freaks, but then also a bunch of children's stuff like the Kim Possible live action movie and some Fraggle Rock. And who can't get on board with a little bit of Fraggle Rock, you know?
I didn't know that there was a live action version of Kim Possible.
Kim Possible? Yeah. I mean, that's what I thought I saw. If I didn't, then I'll issue an apology next time. Adam B. Stein, many of the same things. It seems like they work together quite a bit. He also did I think a couple dozen episodes of Jimmy Kimmel Live, which I guess he won't be doing that anymore.
Oh, no.
Writers, Guy Busick, Laurie Evans Taylor, John Watts, Jeffrey Reddick. I think Jeffrey Reddick, was one of the original writers from the earlier Final Destination. So it might be a legacy credit, but I'm not sure. I didn't dig into that too much. Guy Busick did the Castle Rock TV show, a couple of the latter screens, Ready or Not with Samara Weaving, and then Abigail, the ballerina vampire movie. And John Watts is pretty well known for his directing the Marvel Spider-Mans, like Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, I think did I get him right? I got him right. Perfect.
Yeah. Be a lot cooler if they would have got the Sam Raimi.
I mean, Sam Raimi did do, what Marvel movie did he do? He did the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness one.
Yeah, but he also did his own set of Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, he did 2 really good ones. And then a third one also. Laurie Evans Taylor I was just excited because I feel like women are often gatekeeped from the horror space. So it's cool to see a female writer on the squad there. Music by Tim Wynn, who the only thing I put down for him was he also did the music for Marvel's Midnight Suns, which is a video game, and I like it. I'm not going to go through the special effects crew, really. There are 27 people on that crew. They did a lot of work here, which shows.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to bring up with the crew before I dive into the cast real fast?
I don't want to talk about Tony Todd yet.
No, it's not time. It's not time. So yeah, our lead is Stephanie Reyes, is played by Caitlin Santawana. I didn't really recognize a lot of her credits. I know she had a decently long role in the Flash television series on the CW. There's Charlie Reyes, is played by Tio Briones. He has a role as Junior in the Chucky series, which is a very good show. They recently got canceled by Sci-Fi, so check out the Chucky show.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer that it got canceled, but it was always kind of more niche. But it's just surprisingly good for, the Chucky series, which has its ups and its downs.
Of course.
And fun fact, it's all part of the same continuity too, which is very cool. Other than the remake with Aubrey Plaza and who played Chucky in that? It was Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill. So that one doesn't count. The remake doesn't count, but all of the legacy Chuckies and then the show are all part of the same continuity. Next up is Darlene Campbell, played by Rhea Kielstedt. She plays a bunch of roles a role in a handful of the Modern Warfare remake video games. There's Eric, is played by Richard Harmon, who is in a bunch of sci-fi stuff. He was in The 100 on the CW, which I really like that show, in Continuum, which is a fun Canadian like sci-fi series. And then I think it was like a to-be-released like horror movie called Lowlifes that were all pretty cool. I like him as an actor. He does have kind of like a severe features, so he's often cast as like a villainous kind of character, but he's fun. I like him. Bobby is played by Owen Patrick Joyner. It seemed like he like is breaking out of his like teen actor phase for this. A lot of his stuff were like kind of like kids stuff or like adolescent things. Julia is played by Anna Lore. Really, you just saw her in Doom Patrol as Penny Farthing, and then Hysteria, which was like pretty cool, like Satanic Panic sort of like television thing. I think on Peacock, has Bruce Campbell in it. Uncle Howard is played by Alex Zahara. I moved so fast. You were gonna say like that you love Bruce Campbell, right?
That's all. I just love Bruce Campbell. Oh yes, of course.
Oh yeah, I mean, who doesn't? Yeah, but yes, cool. Uncle Howard is played by Alex Zahara. Horns and Open Range are a couple of his credits that were interesting. Aunt Brenda is played by April Telek. She had like 150 credits. I'm like, there's no way I'm sifting through all of these. Marty Reyes is played by Timpa Lee. Young Iris is played by Breck Basinger. She was Stargirl in the CW Stargirl show. There's Old Iris is played by Gabriel Rose. And then Paul Campbell is played by Max Lloyd Jones. And then finally, as you intimated earlier, William Bloodworth is played by the incomparable Tony Todd, Kern, son of Moog himself, the Candyman himself, in his final role, his final film role, right here.
Officially, this was the last movie he did?
That's true. I guess like it was the first one released after he departed. I don't know if he had anything else in like post-production. I could look that up real fast, I guess.
It's not important. Anyways, Tony Todd, definitely a legend. Candyman himself. He definitely has a bunch of work and a bunch of titles moving around in the horror and kind of sci-fi fantasy world. He is very well known in the Final Destination series. He's in almost all of them. Completely forgotten. I think he's not in number 4. But he's in the rest. He's in Bloodlines. He makes a great appearance. Definitely a lot of callback information. But yeah, cool to see him in there, and cool to see him finish the series.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad too, because this is the movie that finally explains why he understands all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of brings his story as a character, even though he's a side character in a lot of it, full circle.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of feels like his character gets the send-off that you always wondered why this guy knows so much, and he always shows up in all these movies, and then we now know why, and he gets to say goodbye to the audience in a way. And there's actually one movie listed after Final Destination Bloodlines on Tony Todd's like filmography, but it was released on May 1st, and Bloodlines was released later in May. So technically this was the latter release. I don't know why that one is listed later. I don't know how IMDb determines when it orders things, but yeah, this is it. This is his last released thing. So
yeah. Oh, it is a cool send off. It is. It feels like everything was nicely wrapped up, and he brought it home, and you could feel the transition in the movie, of course, of his character's story, but he felt like he was kind of hanging his hat up too.
Yeah, so I guess we'll jump in on like high level sort of synopsis thing, since we kind of established his character does get the full circle of his character's like involvement in this entire thing. There is essentially a scene earlier, it's like in the 60s, right, where Iris and her husband or soon to be husband go to like this sky restaurant dance place, like the club place that like is up high in the sky, like in a Space Needle style thing. Basically it's very long, but essentially the idea is that things are going to happen here that will make it so that some people get lit on fire, and something causes the glass floor to break and people to fall to their death, and the entire building collapses and everyone dies through very convoluted and complex ways. She has a vision of this and then stops the glass from breaking that initiates the event, saves everyone's lives. So everyone in the restaurant is saved.
Very Final Destination format.
Yeah, like them premonitions, watch out. But just like I always say, I hope I never survive anything so death doesn't come get me in a crazy way later. It turns out that the person having the vision of the vision is, in fact, Iris's granddaughter. As we said earlier, Stephanie Reyes. She's in college and having these visions. So she ends up, going home and asks questions of her father. Her mother's long lost at this point, and then tries to go ask her uncle, who is her mother's brother, about her grandmother, who they've lost contact with and never see and everything like that. And they are really dodgy about it, that she's apparently paranoid and crazy and raised them weird and wouldn't let them do anything because of the death, you see. So she eventually manages to find some old letters, tracks down the grandma, and then the grandma reveals to her through a book that death is getting every single person who should have died in that restaurant and all of their descendants, for none of them should have lived, and going through and getting them all. And she has notes on, I wasn't super clear if she was taking notes on the other ones because it's just showing death's design, or if the other ones were related to that, if they were descended from the people who were involved earlier. I think she's just tracking what death's up to. And then essentially the granddaughter, Stephanie, is like, I don't believe this. I try to leave. The grandma's like, well, I'll sacrifice myself to give you this. The idea being that she's getting the visions because grandma is sick with cancer, so her days are numbered. Death is going to eventually get her. And she hastens that in order to get her granddaughter to try to save the family. Does she? No, we'll see.
You'll have to find out.
Watch the movie and find out.
It definitely fits that same Final Destination format we've seen, time and time again. I do enjoy the twist of the idea of doing this legacy timeline, these bloodline things. Like Stefan just explained, you get the grandma in the beginning. It's very, she's in an insane hut. She's got actual spikes in her front yard to protect her from people, I don't know, walking up, which is crazy.
Yeah, someone who's afraid of being killed in a crazy way, having a bunch of spikes in your yard seems like not the move.
It's like you're just asking for it. But yeah, you see the granddaughter walks in, talks to grandma. It's a very Pepe Sylvia, Always Sunny kind of thing. She has... bulletin boards filled with timelines and pictures and red tape everywhere. And she has this giant scrapbook of everything that death is up to. I do think it is just kind of a dual thing of I'm keeping track of death because I don't think all of them were part of this legacy story. But you start to get a couple of Easter eggs to the other movies when you start looking at the bulletin boards and in the book. Bunch of cool references, a lot of cool callbacks.
Log truck.
So many callbacks to the log truck.
Yeah, almost too many callbacks to the log truck at the end of the day. But
I don't know. When I think about how iconic that is as a horror movie kill, even people who have never watched that movie, it's the second one in the series. If they've never seen that movie, they still will drive behind a log truck and have that thought of this thing's going to fly off and kill me. Everybody's talked about it. This is what happens. You there with me?
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, log truck, no, thank you. Yeah, everyone who's seen that movie doesn't drive behind a log truck anymore. We just are going to play it safe. I think we had some questions about the physics in that movie of how it worked, but either way, we're just going to keep safe. The thing that, so I'm going into this, I think I told you that I'm not a fan of the Final Destination series. For me, it was always a little too mean-spirited, a little too, I don't know, cynical, and kind of cruel. And I will say that you'd think that then now having an entire family targeted by it would make this movie even worse. But actually, because we get to spend a lot more time with this family and understand the stakes a little bit more, I liked it better because there was a little more heart to it, at least. That it was a family trying to deal with it together rather than just random strangers thrown together because they were I don't know, on a roller coaster at the same time or whatever the one was. It just felt a little bit more cohesive. And
yeah.
You get that bit where the one daughter is trying to explain to the family, it's hey, guess what? We're all going to die. and it takes a couple bodies to drop before the family starts to take it seriously. But it is pretty, like, she's just like over here, like, look, grandma was right. Check it out. Here's the book, lays it all out. But, well, once they all get on the same page, I actually thought it was really cool. And sort of a spoiler alert that happens in it that I actually really appreciated is that, like, basically death kind of skips a person. It's like, why this happened? And it's revealed that that person was like the product of an affair. So it wasn't related to them by blood. And that was the opportunity for the movie to take an easy way out and be like, oh, let's introduce some like forced conflict, because it's not like blood is all that matters. It's not like they were raised as a family together. But then they instantly back that down. And like the one brother is like, comes with them anyway. It's like, yeah, I mean, I'm part of this family. I'm going to help my brother out. It doesn't matter if we're like not related the same way we thought we did, which was like a pretty cool, like, now granted how that worked out for those characters, maybe not so much, but the point is like, it took the opportunity for like a cheap way out, cheap conflict. Instead it was like, no, family is still family, like blood or otherwise, which was pretty cool. So I actually thought there's a lot more heart to it than, you know, the other ones. And then obviously the Tony Todd element, like him getting to have his like final send off both to these people and his involvement with this entire thing. And then finally his kind of talking directly to the audience was just, it was sweet. It was nice to see. And an otherwise gory farce, which is what most of this is.
Yeah. It's kind of like the story equivalent of someone being like, psych, like, I'm going to get you into this. We're going to do something with it. Yeah, just kidding. We're just going to move on.
Yeah, it's like, if you're going to get me so invested with the character, surely things will go well, right? Ooh, well.
Whoopsies. It is a great movie. I enjoyed it. I'm a fan of... I am always just fascinated by popular culture and things that kind of trend into mainstream, and that's everywhere. I am also a huge fan of horror, and so I have an appreciation for these very popular culture, mainstream horror movies that you have expressed that you don't enjoy. But I enjoy and appreciate them as part of that
feeling a little
pop culture phenomenon.
I like popular stuff.
It's not that. I'm just saying we have ones that we disagree on. And if we're going to talk about people feeling attacked, it's going to be Mallory, who had to listen to 3 separate podcasts that basically were like, Mallory's an idiot. She like Saw. We're going to bring her on here and fight with her about it.
We do know that you like Saw and we didn't. So we're like, let's put up your dukes.
And the way you explain you don't like Saw, that's how you called me an idiot. You pretentious motherfucker.
Yeah, me who loves 80s schlock horror movies. That's the height of pretension. Allow me to get my like fur coat on and sit upon my velvet throne of chud. Come on. Anyways, let's not do this in front of the audience. Let's move on.
We'll fight later.
Yes, but no, actually though, I will say though that you did have, in my opinion, a very valid issue with this movie. And I don't know if you wanted to bring that up before we move on to our little other bits. Mainly the length and of the premonition at the beginning.
The pacing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I at no point during the movie was I kind of conscious that the pacing was a little off. As I watched it from beginning to end, I was just having a great time. I was having fun. That opening scene, I will say, as far as all these Final Destination movies go, because they all have this very dramatic opening scene, this one is about double the length, but it's amazing. It's so cinematic. It's fun to watch. There's a million different things happening. And so you don't feel like it's dragging on, but when I watched this movie, I happened to watch it. I got a little tired, turned it off, went to bed, shortly after the initial scene. And when I woke up the next morning to finish the movie, and I'm dragging the thing, trying to get to where I left off. And I realized by the end of the opening premonition, you're like almost halfway done with the movie. And then it's like, all right, jam it all in here. There's these families and there's this legacy and everyone's about to start dying because grandma's dying. Because that's the thing. You have to go in order. You have to die in the order with which you would have died. And so all of these people who exist because the grandma didn't die, they can't die until she dies.
Yeah, like one line at a time in order from like the highest to lowest, like generationally.
Yeah. There was a moment too where they kind of explained like, all right, well, I feel like death has been waiting to kill everyone for a really long time. And I'm pretty sure Iris at one point is like, it just does whatever it wants. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it. Like she makes this really casual statement like, it couldn't be bothered.
Well, I get the feeling too, like whenever she's in her house and she's talking about death and like something happens and she like catches it and like stops it. It's like, nice try, you bastard. Like Death's always like, she's like, oh, so close. Like he's always hanging out waiting for his chance.
Shucks.
Like what's that one with like the insurance commercial, is it, where the guy has like $1 on like a fishing line? He's like, oh, almost got it. Like it's Death's like, so close. Anyway, I guess I'll go somewhere else for now. I will say this movie, I totally, number one, I do totally agree with you, the pacing. Like, I do feel like better than a third of the movie is given to that, like, almost half. I think it's cool, and I would love to be in the room when they storyboarded that entire damn scene.
Mm-hmm.
But
they were too tired after they storyboarded that. That's
like,
why
we have to do the rest of we have to do the rest of a movie now. Like, get out of here.
It's like, I go on vacation at the end of the day, guys. I won't be back for a couple weeks.
We have to go back to home. Like, we have to go to Office Depot to get more storyboard. We are out of it. But yeah, no, all that said, though, I did feel like, and a lot of them is like, Death's up to no good and doing its thing, but it always just looks like stuff happening. But this one, Death is always on the wind, and like the wind is blowing or something's happening. So you get a feel for when it's up to something, which personified it in a way that I feel like the other movies didn't. Granted, I think that I fell off a few movies into the original, like the earlier series. So if I missed that they personified it a little better, that's on me. But I do feel like it actually felt like a presence this time and not just like random unlikely events, sort of.
Yeah, it was a lot smaller. I feel like you're absolutely right. It had a little bit more of a personality in this movie than it did in last ones, or previous ones. It always is initiate. It's always an initiate of something, right? So there is wind, and the wind blows the door, and the door creaks open, and then as the door is about to fall, a knife falls behind it, something like that. But this one feels like, I also feel like we spend a lot of movie edging the deaths, much more than we have in the previous movies. Like the build up for some of these deaths is whew. I think that also lends itself to why Death feels like it has a little bit more of a presence or a personality in this movie.
Yes, and then the entire idea is that Stephanie Reyes somehow like inherited Iris's ability to like predict the random things that can happen that make Death happen. It's like, all right, we need her with us so she can keep an eye out for however Death's going to try to get us this time.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like they're a little unclear. So it starts with her having the vision, but then she doesn't really know what's going on. She goes and talks to the grandma, and the grandma's like, you have to study this book and learn how to spot death. And I'm like, okay, is this like a visions thing? Is this some sensitivity that you've passed down? Or is she reading the textbook and trying to learn how to catch it?
Yeah. It's like, oh, well, someone did the reading.
Yeah.
Like, you have to do the reading to not be caught by death, like just randomly in the world. Not get your face run over by a lawnmower in your own yard.
You didn't get that book at graduation?
No, like, where is this? I need to get it. Can I get it on Amazon? Can I get it on my Kindle for free?
Somebody's made a copy where they just took pictures on their cell phones and compiled into one document, and they're selling it on Kindle for 75 cents.
Perfect. I won't die now.
I hope everyone sees the really big effort I'm trying to make to stick to this Rube Goldberg bit.
It's, yeah, I mean, you're understanding my struggle when I come up with a bit. Now I have to like make sure I stick to it. It's kind of nice to have the pressure off of me for once to not do that. But
Are you sure? Do you feel okay? Because I feel like you just look confused.
No, I'm amazing. I'm doing great. There's a spider in my kitchen, and that's why I keep looking. If you keep seeing me looking in that one direction, I see it up there, but it's like my ceilings are like, I'm decently tall, so I can reach it, but I would be like off balance to reach it. So at this point, I'm just going to leave it there until it like gets down to where I can reach it.
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened. And it's just been like hanging out in this corner, like kind of walking back and forth. I'm like, we're going to have words later, Spider, but it's not for now.
Can you make Darkseid Dave get him?
I could try, but his lack of eyes, and also he doesn't have any nerves, so he can't tell if he got it. So then it just crawls into his sleeve, and then it crawls out of his skull later in a dramatic fashion. And I'm like, no, Darkseid Dave.
Oh, that's kind of spooky, though. We love that.
Yeah, but I guess we could have him do that, and at least I know I can get it later. I won't have to reach high and be off balance and get into an altercation with the spider.
Yeah. Or if it crawls in his skull, you could just take him outside, kick his head off, and then you and the body go back inside.
You know, surprisingly, my neighbors don't like that. So I can't be going around kicking a skull outside. They're like, it's not
Especially
against
with a spider in it.
Well, exactly. It's like, it's not against the HOA rules, but it's definitely like not chill to do that. So, but yeah, that reminds me that we should get back to our actual thing and not talk about the spider in my kitchen that I've been eyeing up for like 2 hours now. And talk about our favorite kill, right?
Woo! Yeah, correct.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so
Queued it up and like, and now you go.
And go. So I did have a little bit of trouble kind of landing on which kill stood out the most. I mean, there's so many great ones. We got the guy getting door hinged. I got the guy who had the meeting with the meat mower.
Lawnmower?
Yeah, I'm calling it the meat mower because his face is made of meat.
That's true. It wasn't getting a lot of lawn done.
But I do think I've landed on, again, fitting the theme. I've picked my favorite kill to fit the bit, but also I picked the one that just really made me feel the best when it happened. And it is that little fucker from the beginning getting murder stomped by a baby grand piano.
Yeah, the premonition kill. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The kid who initiated the entire event.
Exactly.
Managed to bully his way out and then almost made it out before he gets like Looney Tunes by a piano, but he's not Bugs Bunny, so he doesn't get to spring back.
Exactly.
He's now been like jellified by this thing.
It's just so great. I mean, when you talk about the bit we're doing and the idea of an overcomplicated, overly long process, we have the kid who is just a snot, and that's his thing. He's just a little booger. He starts it all off. He's like standing on top of the Space Needle, throwing pennies out over the edge. Fuck him for that.
That's true.
12-year-old.
I mean,
and then all that stuff starts happening. And then Iris even kind of sacrifices her opportunity at living to kind of throw him in a position where he can run down the stairs and escape. And we go through so many other murders. And then we cut back to him at the very end.
Running out the front, like seems like he's about to make it, and then
looking so relieved. Yeah, he's like, hell yeah.
Don't be relieved if death is near, because that's when he gets you, when you least expect it.
And let your guard down. Absolutely not. So that'll be, and I don't feel bad about spoilers because it happens right in the beginning.
Right in that first third of the movie or so, and we're watching this entire premonition.
Oh shit, you're right. But that is my favorite kill.
Cool. That very solid one, actually. But I am going to go with one that's a little bit more, I guess you'd say not as funny, but I just thought it was really well done. The trash compactor one, or the garbage truck one. So spoiler alert for the movie, but there's this scene where,
interesting.
Having read the book and having seen a couple of kills happen, Stephanie is hyper vigilant and stuff like that. And she's confused about why her one cousin didn't die because he was next in line. We established already that there's a reason for that. But one of her cousins is like running by, she's on a jog, and like Stephanie's trying to explain, like, but what if, these, how does she do it? It's like, what if this tree trimmer falls and it hits the guy who's using a leaf blower, and he blows the leaves at these kids playing the soccer ball, and they kick the soccer ball and it like knocks somebody over, hurts somebody. And they're like, that's crazy. And then literally that's exactly what happens when her cousin starts jogging down the street and she gets hit by the soccer ball and goes into a garbage can and then put into the garbage truck. And at the end of the day, though, it is kind of like a really nerve-wracking kill, because it's like, will she get out before she's compacted? No, she will not.
No, absolutely not.
But it's just so funny how everything she literally said is exactly what death does to knock her sister or her cousin into this garbage.
She studied, Stefan.
She did.
Read
she
the
was
book.
right. But the way she says it is so flippant. And they're like, wait, exactly what you said could happen is what happened. And that's when they start to take her seriously. So it's a very important one for the plot, but it's also funny because of just how it was all put together. And then at the end, it was very tense because they're trying to stop the truck, but the guy's too busy swiping on off-brand Tinder on his phone, listening to music so he doesn't stop. And, she gets smashed by the thing and her head gets ripped in half in a really gruesome way. So it's real crazy looking too. So all in all, very solid kill, and also thematically important to the rest of the movie. So I liked it.
I kind of want to change my answer to that one. I don't know why that one didn't stand out to me when I was thinking about what's a really good, overly complicated one.
It is because that one, it is sad because it is at the end of the day very gruesome, and she does die trying to get out. So it's that in that way, it's not super chill. And you were going for the more cathartic one of watching this asshole kid get, Wile E. Coyoted by a grand piano. So I don't think there's any reason to complain about that one either.
Yeah, very true. I did see on TikTok or Instagram Reels, I don't know, one of the things, how they created that death, the special effects they used for her getting crushed in the trash compactor. It was interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Cool setup.
It was a good mix of CGI with the because that was one of my complaints, is some of the CGI, and this was a little bit much, but that was a good use of practical effects. They actually had a rigging and then using CGI to enhance it, which is actually pretty good. So it looked better than some of the more complicated ones that kind of looked a little faker.
Yeah, it looked a little cartoony.
Exactly.
But overall, it looked good. Most of the stuff they did look good. I think that's kind of the world we're in right now when people are using CGI in horrors. There's times where it's going to get a little cartoony. I don't think it ruined the movie in any way. I think it was fine.
It's almost like you're driving towards some kind of rating when you say that. Yes.
What am I going to say about Final Destination Bloodlines?
You want to reiterate for the audience what the two ratings are, just in case they forgot?
Sure. We're looking at two options here. We're not worried about stars or letter grades or anything stupid like that.
Okay, well, now that one was definitely deliberate.
We're just to make this really simple. Final Destination Bloodlines. Was it Rube Goldbored? Boo. Bored being the bad one.
Yes. The booze gave it away.
Or was it a Rube Gold scored? Pow, 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 pow. That's the noise I was trying to make the first time we did this, and I couldn't get it out properly.
Oh, that's why. Good thing we did two movies then.
That's right. I feel good about that one. So Rube Gold bored or Rube Gold scored. I'm gonna give Final Destination Bloodlines a Rube Gold scored. A little controversial, but again, going back to talking about just appreciating such a popular culture horror kind of legacy movie. I do think it wrapped things up nicely. I think it carried a nice story. I think there was a good balance of nostalgia, some callbacks to many of the other movies, not just not just the origin movie. The Tony Todd thing was nice to kind of see him put his hat up on the franchise as well. And it was another one that the pacing was off, but it didn't take me out of it. I thought it was a nice, fun, easy movie. Again, another one you don't have to overly think about. It's not meant for you to sit there and think about time travel and people being in different moments. It's just, that's too much. Just enjoy it for what it is. Silly, almost slapstick, crazy gore horror.
Yeah, I actually agree completely. I think that it is a Rube Gold scored.
Score! Bow, 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 bow.
Goal. Yeah, no, I mentioned it earlier. I am not hot on the series. I actually don't like the series that much, and I went into it with super low expectations, so maybe take my opinion with a grain of salt, because I liked it a lot. I thought it was really fun, had just enough heart and just enough silliness to not feel like it was like as cruel as I felt some of the other ones were. In fact, going into it, I actually thought, man, that sucks that this is Tony Todd's last ever role. But then having seen it, I'm like, you know what? They let him ad-lib part of it, which was really cool too, that he got to kind of just say what he wanted to say. They really let him, they really let him, because that's why he talks about those things about like doing what you can at the time you have, because he's very obviously very sick. Like, it's clearly not.
He's pretty skinny.
Yeah.
He's small.
And it really did actually feel like a great cap to his legacy, to the point where maybe he stole the movie from some of the other characters. But no, like, having seen it now and understanding it is like, I feel like this is a better direction for the franchise to move in as it moves forward, because I really felt like the tone and just like the story, the tone, the effects were obviously good, but this is kind of a good direction for the franchise to continue in. So I hope they do that. I know that these directors, I think, are slated to do another one, and hopefully it continues on. It's kind of a bummer, obviously with Tony Todd having passed, but again, like, it was just super cool that they gave him his moment to kind of shine and just like steal the spotlight one last time before he passed away.
Absolutely.
So score it for me.
Woo! Well, look at that. 2 beautiful movies from 2025.
Beautiful
seemed like, that seemed like a weird way to describe it.
Sorry, I have to wipe the gore from my glasses of someone who just got gibleted in front of me. Like, beautiful.
Beautiful.
What a gorgeous series of entrails. But no, those
Shiny
are both
viscera.
Yeah. Yes, I will say that as much as in our 80s movies, I'm always like very generous to them. I am very hard on more modern ones, and I have been very hard on the Final Destination franchise. So for it to have won me over is actually, I think, a huge step for that entire franchise.
I'm proud of you.
Hey, thanks.
You're welcome. Well.
Oh, yes, I see. It's time for the saddest of all eras. It is time for the segment we call Tubituaries. Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, bum. Funeral dirge, right?
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of stuff leaving. It's kind of crazy because it's almost October. It's almost the spookiest season. So I'm hoping these are like, production companies just flexing muscle and that they don't go away. You're holding up your hand as if you want to say something, so I'm going to let you go.
If you
just talk about Dawson's Creek right now.
Yeah, I'm absolutely going to talk about Dawson's Creek right now. Here's that new part of the podcast that started happening when Mallory joined, where she talks about some weird drama from the 90s. Last episode was Sex and the City. This episode is Dawson's Creek. Just kidding. I do want to point it out, though. So we can see we have the Leaving Soon from 2B pulled up on the screen. And tons of scary movies, just as Stefan was saying. But number 2 spot, Dawson's Creek. There's 2 things I want to say about this.
Well, I can't stop.
One of them is just last night, I started watching Dawson's Creek again because I enjoy it and I wanted to do that.
Cool.
And I'm not leaving myself open for any judgment from you.
I already knew that you liked Dawson's Creek because of the time you told me about how someone did AI to age them up and see what they would look like now, even though all the actors are alive and you just look at what they look like now.
Just look at the picture. So that's the next part of this is Um, so I have a Discord where we all hang out a lot of the times. And sometimes when we get in there, I'm just on my PC. I'm not really doing anything. I'll just pull up Reddit, share my screen, and boy, do we just go on a journey together. And one of the times, I got that post that Stefan just talked about, and it was a post that said what the Dawson's Creek characters would look like today. And I was crying laughing because I thought, why did we do this? Why did we use AI to show me what they look like right now when I could just look up pictures on the internet?
Just
We'd
look
be
up James
fine.
Vanderbeek right now. Like, what's he up to?
He has cancer.
Wow. Real downer there.
Funny.
Jeez.
Well, he's trying to spread awareness. It's he has prostate cancer. And so he's making sure that men of the appropriate age are getting screened, getting checked regularly. So he's trying to spread the good word. But he's okay, and he looks good. So anyways, that's the night we found out that I followed the Dawson's Creek subreddit. And my cousin Mike, who's also my best friend, without missing a beat, goes, "Of course you do, Mallory. Why wouldn't you?"
He's right. Why wouldn't you?
I wouldn't if it weren't for Pacey Witter. And if you know, you know.
It would actually be super crazy if like the AI version of James Vanderbeek doesn't have cancer. It's like, whoa, what are you trying to suggest here?
How are you doing? How are you judging people with cancer visually? Well, let's move on.
Yeah. Literally just got done talking about how you could tell how Tony Todd was not doing well, but sure, okay. Hey, let's stop this laugh a minute cancer segment and talk about what's leaving Tubi, our Tubituaries. Important ones.
This just keeps getting worse.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm just going to move on. We're just going to pretend it never happened. Houses October built, which is, we covered that, I think, during one of our intermissions last year. Terror Train, Drag Me to Hell, Sam Raimi. We just talked about him earlier. I Know What You Did Last Summer, the OG. It kind of sucks that's leaving, but hopefully it doesn't, though. The House Ones.
What happened to Ryan Phillippe? He was so hot.
Was he in Swim Fan?
I'm not sure. He was definitely in Cruel Intentions.
Oh no, did he have, what were his intentions like in that movie?
They started out pretty cruel. But redemption?
Ah, good for him. It was not him in Swim Fan, so my bad.
That was Swim Fan. That was the one blonde girl who kind of looks like Julia Stiles, and the guy who was on Entourage.
Jesse Bradford, yeah, and then Erica Christensen was the blonde.
Yes, I think she looks like Julia Stiles.
Yeah, I thought that she looked a little bit like Lily Sobieski too. No, I'm wrong. She doesn't look like Lily Sobieski. She does look like Julia Stiles.
Cool.
Anyways,
the House on Sorority Row.
House on Sorority Row. Exorcist 2, The Heretic. Quarantine, the American remake of the Spanish film Wreck. The remake of When a Stranger Calls. Yellow Brick Road, which is kind of a weird one, but some people like it. My Name is Bruce, which I'm just bringing up because we love Bruce Campbell in this household.
Hell yeah.
I guess I'll bring up Pixels because it's the movie where a guy inexplicably has sex with Q*bert when he transforms into a girl. So don't watch the movie Pixels if you don't want to see a nerd having intercourse with the human form of Q*bert. Demons, I hope doesn't leave because that was one of the contenders that I had for the Devilish duology. Tales of Halloween, also hope that doesn't leave. Stop scrolling. Tales of Halloween, I hope doesn't leave because it is a really cool anthology film and it's Halloween themed. The Beyond, the Lucio Fulci, one of his Gates of Hell trilogy. Invaders from Mars is really good. And then obviously Day of the Dead, George Romero. Hate to see that go, but the rights of the George Romero movies are all over the place, so you never know when something's going to go. Amityville 2, The Possession, take it or leave it. The Void from 2016, that movie rules.
It's such a good movie.
I know. I hope it stays because otherwise the only place you can watch it is Peacock, and I don't trust networks anymore. Maybe the White House will tell them to take off The Void, and then they'll do it so they can approve of some merger. Was that Return of the Killer Clown? Or no, Return of the Killer Tomatoes. Sorry, Killer Clowns. If that left, I would be done. Return of the Killer Tomatoes.
It's very, if anyone doesn't know what that movie poster looks like, it is a angry tomato bursting out of a can. And
it also has
Stefan
arms.
just said, Return of the Killer Clown. Oh, wait, is that a tomato?
Sometimes my brain makes connections and I fire it off before I have a chance to consider it.
Somebody post a picture of this on Instagram.
Do not do it. And you will cut this part out. Moving on. Mario Bava's Black Sabbath. And then also The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, which sad to see that go. I have a t-shirt of that. The Plan 9 from Outer Space, but the in-color version, so not so good. The Dario Argento, George Romero combination, Two Evil Eyes, is going away, which is a bummer because I love Two Evil Eyes. Night of the Demons is going. We did an episode of that, so get on it. Hopefully it doesn't go, but get on it. House by the Cemetery, another Italian horror movie. It's really interesting. Donnie Darko, some people like that.
I don't need your pretentious attitude right now, Stefan.
Oh, I'm the pretentious one? Everyone who talks about Donnie Darko acts like it's... I think Donnie Darko is a pretentious movie. The Cabin in the Woods, which is a fun movie. Bummer to see it go.
It's so fun.
I'm not going to... I just didn't want to get in a fight about Donnie Darko, so I moved on very quickly from that. Oh, R.I.P. RoboCop, it's leaving. Metropolis, Fritz Lang's...
Remember.
Yeah, Mandy Moore, Walk to Remember is leaving. Anyway, back to the silent film classic Fritz Lang's...
cancer, Stefan. That's a horror movie.
I am not comfortable with how often cancer is coming up in this podcast. Fritz Lang's classic silent film Metropolis is leaving.
Says the guy who exclusively talks about 9/11.
That's different.
Okay. Sure.
People need to lighten up. So, the Evil Dead remake is on the way out. Scream 4.
That is sad. I like that remake. I don't care what anybody else has to say. It's a good remake.
I agree.
If you haven't watched it, hurry up and watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good movie. Scream 4, like I said, all of Buffy the Vampire Slayer is leaving, which is kind of a drag. I'm assuming it's because they're coming up with a reboot remake of it. Labyrinth is heading out, so
why?
Because studios don't know how to make new ideas, so they're just revamping old ones to make more money. Labyrinth is leaving, so say goodbye to David Bowie's Bulge.
Hell yeah.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and also Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, both are going. Nosferatu in 3 different forms is leaving, which is devastating to me since that's my favorite movie. I mean, I do have it on Blu-ray and on DVD twice, so I'll probably be okay, but it is sad to see it go. The Dark Crystal, so more Jim Henson puppet action. What do we got? Dog Soldiers, the best werewolf movie ever made, that's leaving. The Messenger, Joan of Arc story, is actually pretty good, so it's kind of sucks to see that go. RoboCop 3, but then I think RoboCop 2 is too. It's just not there yet. This order is very confusing. Dead Ringers, David Cronenberg, that's on the way out.
Did you ever see Cosmopolis?
No.
Am I saying that right?
I think so. I mean, that's how I would say it.
Curious. I feel like they made a big fuss about it when I never heard anything, which probably means it's terrible.
They made a big fuss about a Cosmopolis?
Mm-hmm.
When?
I feel like I saw nothing but marketing for it for months. Like these big, extravagant advertisements and trailers, and they were kind of tying it to, oh God, just what seems like the beginning of our political turmoil.
Are you sure you're not thinking of Megalopolis?
I 100% am. Thank you.
I mean, at least you didn't think that when we saw Metropolis. That was a different polis.
No, I know what Metropolis is. Well, you can see my confusion. Megalopolis has a bunch of random stars in it.
It does, yeah. It has like, I think the main
Cullen
character
right now.
is, what's his name? Kylo Ren from the Star Warses.
Yeah, Adam Driver.
Yeah, Adam Driver. Yeah.
One time I saw a cat on TikTok that looked exactly like Adam Driver, and that comment got like 10,000 likes. Which means other people also thought that cat looked like Adam Driver.
I'm really psyched about your TikTok comment popularity. Would you mind scrolling, please?
Oh my god. Oh, I have a weird life.
Nothing here. I mean, in Zulu, I guess the horrors of, colonialism.
Agent Cody Banks.
Oh, yeah, that's bye-bye to that. Apt Pupil, which is a Stephen King adaptation, is leaving. It's to the row above this one. Freaks, which we just talked about, that's on the way out. The Tall Man, which looks spooky, so bye to that. You can keep moving. Nothing really there. I Spit on Your Grave. Don't recommend it, but it's leaving if that's what you want to watch with your life. Death Race 2000. Bummer to see that go. Interesting that Soldados de Dios is leaving, because I'm pretty sure that's just the Spanish version of The Prophecy that has like Christopher Walken as like an angel who comes to Earth to try to like initiate the end of the world. I don't know why
Is that Christopher Walken?
That's him. Yeah. It's very interesting that only the Spanish version is leaving, but then again, I don't know if the English version is even here. So, Carnival of Souls in several forms is leaving. So, if you want to see Carnival of Souls, I think it actually might still be on Shudder, so you can just go to Shudder and watch it. But yeah, there's like four versions of it. Yeah, leaving. I mean, the one is just the Spanish version, but still, yeah, so many of them are going. Adventures of Pluto Nash. I know you're going to be really devastated by that. Piranha, we did an episode on that. It's leaving. Bye to Piranha. I think we're coming to the end of horror stuff. We can. Oh no, Survival of the Dead. That's not as good of a George Romero one. We Are What We Are. It's on the way out. Wormwood, Road to the Dead. That was a good one. Oh no, Swamp
Over Games. That's an insane thing.
Yeah, one of those like scary movie likes.
Well, I see. That's supposed to be 10. That looks like supposed to be the girl from the Hunger Games. Okay.
Yeah, I think the one behind him is supposed to be like Zach Galifianakis' dude from The Hangover. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's all I really had in my list. I also wrote down some of them, and it looks like everything that we got I had in my notes. So there you go. RIP to those. Hopefully many of them don't leave, especially like Night of the Demons and Piranha and, anything we cover on the podcast, because I like having it readily available for our listeners to watch. So I guess that's it. Do you want to add anything before I call Dave over to send us home?
Are you sure you want him to come back if he's going to talk about red pill stuff?
I already gave him his bones, so he's paid for.
Right. Well, before we get into that, don't call him over yet.
Okay.
I do want to say thank you again for having me. I know we've had one episode out where I got to join with you and Shane. That was a really, really fun episode. This is the first one that you and I are doing together, solo dolo. And I hope everyone likes this one.
And if you don't, well,
fuck off.
Damn. I was going to say,
get wrecked.
Yeah, get wrecked, fool, idiot. What are you even doing? Well, yeah,
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, I was going to say thank you for stepping in and helping out while Shane is away. That's very helpful and super cool because I don't have skills that could help me do this. So you're needed.
Happy to be here. I'm having fun. That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that.
It's exactly what I'm referencing.
Before Forrest Gump, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie, but eventually I'll get around to it. Eventually I'll get around to it, though.
I bet you I could quote that entire movie from start to finish.
I've seen like many parts of it because it's like on TNT frequently, or it was when I was younger. So I'd like watched like most parts of it, but I don't think I've ever sequentially sat through the entire thing.
That's like the growing up the 90s version of watching a movie in 15-second segments out of order on TikTok. is like, I watched it over 6 months on TNT. I'm still missing major parts of the plot.
Yes. Well, that and then all like the edited for TV or like only watching bits of it when I'm around, or the like sitting down for like an entire afternoon and like watching a 2-hour movie over the course of 4 hours because of commercial breaks. And like, well, I guess this is how I'm going to experience The Godfather.
Yeah.
This way.
I very fondly refer to those as like shower movies. Hang in there with me. Let's Rube Goldberg my way through this explanation as well.
Excellent callback.
No, it's just like, and again, it doesn't feel as relevant today because I don't feel like people watch TV the same way they used to watch TV. Is if it was on the network that you were watching it over 4 hours. So like some days it was a Saturday and you'd wake up, you'd get in the shower and maybe you turn the TV on in your room and you were watching TNT or whatever while you were getting dressed. And then all of a sudden The Godfather's on and you sit down on the edge of the bed in your towel still, fresh out of the shower, and you end up sitting there for 4 hours and watching the whole movie. It's a shower movie.
Yeah. You got caught before you could do anything else watching. For
Yeah.
me, I feel like I don't know how many times I watched like those lesser good Kevin Costner movies from like that era. Like I feel like I watched Waterworld and The Postman so many times on TNT just because it was on. I'm like, well, I guess I'm sitting here now. My dad would walk in. It's like, what are we doing? It's like, guys, we're watching Waterworld. I'll order a pizza. It's like, all right, this is our day.
Forrest Gump was definitely one of those movies for me. I do remember watching it on TNT all the time.
I somehow missed out. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but
it's crazy.
Yeah, what an interesting era of watching television and movies that was.
Yeah, it evolved too. Sometimes I miss cable now that everything's so available because it started with like, oh, you would watch Twister was another big one.
Oh,
that
yes.
was like a shock.
Yeah.
I would watch that. I would watch Wild Wild West, Forrest Gump, just a bunch of these random movies. And then all of a sudden it like shifted and it was just like always Harry Potter. Which,
I missed that era. I missed the Harry Potter era, so that one didn't quite get to me. But you can kind of simulate that experience, and I kind of do sometimes, particularly on Tubi. They have a bunch of like streaming channels that are just like what's on is what's on.
Mhm.
And I'll put something on and it has commercial breaks from time to time. And I'm like, ooh, now it's time to stand up and get some water or go run to the restroom or like whatever I can do. It kind of like simulates that like television experience.
Yes.
And I actually remember Pluto TV for a long time had a Godzilla only channel that was just constantly playing Godzilla movies. And there were days where I just put that thing on and I'm like just sitting on my couch, like reading or scrolling online, just like with Godzilla in the background. Yeah, it was perfect. It was probably the best the society's ever been, and it'll never be that good again.
I've been feeling very nostalgic about like cable being my source of media and like not having to pick what's on. It's just what's on is what's on.
Yeah, hit up those channels on some of these streaming services. They do the job. They fill that, they like scratch that itch. The one you didn't know you had.
Anyways, what a fun stroll down memory lane.
Yeah, it sure is nice to think about the ancient times gone by of cable television. But before we call over David, I will say thank you to Rebel Revolver for the theme song. We love it. It's great. If you're a fan of music, which you ought to be,
it's pretty great.
It's pretty good. Yeah. They are available streaming on Spotify. They have music videos on YouTube. I think whenever Shane publishes our episodes, he always puts a link tree in there for their socials and stuff like that. So track them down, follow them. If you're local to the Pittsburgh area, I think they recently posted there's going to be a show coming up in October. So hit up their socials, see where that is, see when that is, get over there, support them because they support us and it's super great stuff. So
absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
I checked my Stats FM recently and it said I was in the top 150 listeners of Rebel Revolver. So I challenge you to best me at that. See if you can break into the top 150 listeners of Rebel Revolver.
Heard it here first, folks. Get them Stats FM up and see if you can beat Mal on Rebel Revolver listenership.
Just me. I'm not the number one spot. I don't know who is, but you can beat 150.
All right. Well, now that we have a challenge open to the audience, I guess we'll summon Dave over here. It looks like he's moved on to he was playing a video game, so he's done pretending to write his memoirs.
Fake keyboard. The
Well, it's a
Bluetooth keyboard you took the batteries out of.
No, it was a wired one because it had a wired one that was has like a real tactile feeling to it. He likes the clickety clack of the keys on that thing. Yeah, he doesn't like the Bluetooth one. It's too soft. It's too quiet. He needs that loud clack for his not ears to hear.
Yeah, he wants a clack and not a pleb.
All right, here, I'll call him over so he can play us out. Don't sigh. He's on retainer as our hype man for these episodes, the intermission episodes. Greetings! It's I, Darkside Dave, returned from playing some video games.
I thought you were writing.
No, I can only write for so long because my poor bony fingers get tired. Even though I don't have nerves or tendons to overstress, but the friction of bone on keyboard really gets to you. So, and I also don't have nerve receptors to experience feelings. In any case, I decided to play video games instead. But I have bones to make, so I'm here to address the audience. You have been listening to another episode of the Darkside Drive-In Intermission. You are joined by your hosts with a contractually appropriate number of ghosts. Stefan! Well, thanks, Dave. Yeah, I'm glad that we had the paperwork for those ghosts. Like, wouldn't want to get caught by the ghost police. Yes, I've seen that movie with Jeff Bridges. It's called R.I.P.D. Those are the ghost police. Really good one, right? Everyone loves it. And your other host, Mal.
I appreciate you acknowledging me.
I was doing a deep dive of self-reflection while I was writing my memoirs and also playing video games, and I realized maybe the manosphere isn't for me because I'm a skeleton without genitals, so it's probably for the best that I don't fret about such weird things.
Yeah, that's for the better. Well, I'm glad you've had a revelation.
Welcome I'm glad that Darkside Dave has grown right before our eyes. I would say his heart
has been.
His heart has grown 4 sizes that day, but he doesn't have a heart. That is correct. I don't have to pump blood if I don't have it.
You just being held together by like the weave.
We try not to question these things. It just is what it is.
Sorry, I'll stop poking holes in it.
But allow me to do my evening prayer to all of you. May the autumn winds cheer your bones. Well, Dave, you're not supposed to do a benediction. You're just supposed to do like a quippy sign-off for like the season. Well then I wish to the audience pumpkin spice and nothing nice. Spooky chain rattle. All right, bye. All right, well there you go. That was our benediction for the Darkside Dave evening.
That was wild.
It was, yeah. He doesn't even actually know what pumpkin spice is. He just saw some memes online about fall bringing pumpkin spice out.
Sorry.
All right.
That works for many different reasons.
It does, yeah. It's a very funny joke for the few people who understand what you're doing. All right. We gotta get out of here.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
He thought he was in control. How wrong he was.
Come to the dark side, drive-in. It's the dark side, drive-in. Come to the dark side, drive-in. It's the dark side, drive-in movie club. From Dynamis Media becomes a horror cyclopedia, watching movies from the gates of hell. Covers ripped from a blockbuster shell. Mr. Bosch is the only good car. Jugs and the stuff just can't be stopped. Things get hairy in the werewolf's lair. Turn the corner and the prowler is there. It's the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving. Come to the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving movie club. Shane's the one who runs the show. He produces and keeps the flow. The Savini of the ones and twos. Only Jack Cordell has bigger shoes. Steffet does the bulk of the research. His descriptions just can't be besmirched. Lots and synopses are the top of lore. Just like Lamson, you'll be begging for more. It's the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving. Come to the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving movie club.
From the deepest corner of the darkest universe, two brave hosts battle through nameless hordes of ghoulish monsters most foul, all to bring you the eternal glory of the dark side drive-in.
It's the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving. Come to the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving movie club. It's the dark side driving. Come to the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving movie